Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Die Party Hollow Earth Expedition, hour number 2 on Die Party Game Day. Wreckage.
Uh-huh.
What is happening in the world right now?
Um, well, it's pretty abstract. Anyway,
Hmm.
Frank,
Yep.
as in Arch, as
Also,
in
yep.
as in you.
And
Uh,
yep.
your day goes on.
Eventfully, I pray.
Uh, the passage of time is hard to mark.
Mhm.
Several hours have certainly passed.
Now, he's been
Oh,
very meticulous with his sips, so every
Ra-
240
yeah.
seconds he takes a single sip. So that's his measurement of time.
Random question before we go any farther. Since it's been a couple of days, am I back up to full health or no?
Uh, yeah, as I said, I believe I said it last game when you woke up with your stuff.
Yeah,
You were
you did.
you were
Okay.
fully
My
you were
bad.
fully up to speed.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Um,
cool.
He's
I'll mark that.
healed. It's a miracle.
I know. I totally survived a Yeti attack.
I know.
that's okay. That is a random aside. So several hours have passed. Have you eaten one of your sandwiches? Have you what have you done?
I mean, if I get hungry, I'm trying. I figured I've got about 8 hours worth of barely enough food, and I've got I'm trying not to drink like
Mhm.
too hard, but if I get
Uh-huh.
thirsty, I'm gonna take a sip.
Okay.
So I kind of figure I'm just kind of like playing the waiting game, man. Did this shit in war, man. You wait long enough, the other guy sticks his head out, you pop the son of a bitch. That's kind of what I'm thinking. But there are human needs
Okay.
from time to time.
All right. Frank,
Mhm.
I'm going to need a Constitution check to not piss yourself.
I like it.
Okay.
If you want to,
Your constitution is.
you can
my
just
my body's pretty good.
You
body.
can- just let it go if you want. You can just pee yourself.
Could I
No one's stopping
theoretically just like unbutton my pants and stick my dick out and just like piss into that sand that absorbed all the water last time?
I mean, if you listen, all I'm saying is if you don't want to pee, you have to make a Constitution check.
Here's the thing, Frank.
what?
You only have
I
a
want-
few
I want-
hands, so you got a
Yeah.
hand holding the sandwich out of the dirt. You got a hand holding the drink out of the dirt.
But I can rest the sandwich on the drink. That way I can get drunk on a sandwich as well. All right. The thing is that I want to do both. I want to roll to see if I can hold it, and I also want to piss in the sand.
Okay, but here's
So-
the thing, Frank.
Yeah.
If you fail the Constitution check, you just piss your pants.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
so either you can just piss into the dirt. Okay, we're really overstaying the welcome
I
of
know.
this
All right,
thing.
fine,
So
I'll
just
roll.
make your
I'll
decision.
roll.
You're
I got
gonna
a body.
roll
I got a body of 4.
Constitution.
I roll 4d2.
Yeah. Well,
I say we give him options here. I say you could either roll a dexterity check to see if you get your
Ooh,
your
dexterity
willy
is
out.
I can
Oh
point it-
God damn it! We're going to stop talking about this now. You've decided to roll body. Roll your body check.
4d2 caret 2. I got a
Okay.
success though. I got a success.
You got a success.
Yes.
You
Which
needed 3 maybe.
which means you have enough time between realizing that you're not going to hold it and pissing yourself to be really upset with yourself that you're about to piss yourself. So you piss yourself.
It's all right. It's
Uh,
okay, man. Shit happens.
You started eating
Or the
sand.
opposite, as case may be.
Well, as the water comes out, you put more water in at the same
mean-
time. I mean, you gotta have an equilibrium here.
Yeah, if I can, if I have a hand free with the thing, I'm gonna try to splash splash some of that booze on my nuts area, just so it doesn't smell, so people can't smell the wave of iodine urine shit that comes out. But
I don't think you have to worry about that.
No, I don't worry about
oh,
that.
problem solved.
More time passes. Otto, have you done anything else?
Nope. Worked a little bit in the lab. Probably entirely forgotten that Arch is doing something.
I love that.
Arch is soiling himself.
You
Yes,
basically like
Arch
gave
is-
him a sandwich, and now he's gone from your mind. You're busy.
Did you?
Yeah,
Did you?
I'm a
Did you?
busy guy.
Did you take lunch at the monastery? Did you take it in your house?
Probably took lunch in my
Oh, he
house.
took lunch.
And then, yeah, back to work in the lab. I still haven't given back all of those optics equipment, the lenses and such, to the professor.
Don't bother.
Oh, I'm not gonna. So probably setting up a small apparatus with that of some type or another. That could probably actually work. Otto's going to be trying to rig up a rudimentary microscope with the magnifying.
Why don't you roll
lenses
me?
provided.
Why don't you roll for that?
Wait,
I
how can you make a microscope with just one?
Actually, Dave, you can make a microscope with a bead of glass and a piece of wood. Actually,
Indeed.
Yeah.
Okay.
that was the original one. Yeah.
Okay.
Why don't you roll
Let's see.
me to create a microscope?
All right. I've got craft, mechanics, and chemistry. I imagine mechanics is probably going to be the one most applicable.
Yeah, for crafting. Yeah.
Unless you're making a microscope out of boiling stuff, but
Frank's understanding of chemistry. When stuff boils, that's chemistry.
Oh, how?
no, it's when stuff burns that it's chemistry. God.
All right, so you were basically one failure away from completely destroying this lens. Instead, all you've managed to do is snap it out of the holder that it is currently in, and not manage to affix it into a more appropriate holding device, a more appropriate frame for a microscope.
That was a painful roll, man.
So now all you have is a magnifying glass lens out of a magnifying glass on a table.
Well, this is the point in time where baling wire comes in handy. But
Do you have
They
any?
haven't
Do you have any
invented
style
duct tape
points,
yet.
by the way? Because you
Uh,
can use them on.
I don't actually know. I don't have any written down on my character sheet, so I'm going to say no. I don't have any style points.
Did you give him any
you would've-
character creation?
He would have had them at start. He did a background, and he did.
So you should have about 6 then, if you had a background.
He should have about like five actually.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I do know that I
because-
haven't used any style points. Refresh my memory what I can do
One
with my
style
style
point
points.
gives you an extra die to use on a roll, but you
Oh.
have to.
But I'd have to declare it beforehand.
Yeah.
It gives you 2
Okay.
extra actually.
Oh, it
Oh,
does.
two.
Okay.
It gives you 2,
Oh, look.
and I think it lets you re-roll as well.
I
As
thought you
opposed
had to do spend more than one style point to do that. I can't remember actually. Let me look that up.
Yeah.
I believe it lets you re-roll, and so you just re-roll with the same number of dice that you have. You have to declare using it to get 2 extra dice before you roll.
Uh-huh.
But the re-roll you can declare when you fail.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll do a re-roll. Let's do this.
Okay.
Oh, sorry about
Excellent
You
re-roll.
just press up, by the way, and it'll.
that. I know.
But see, pressing up is so impersonal, It's just not the same.
That's
All right.
better.
There we go.
Wunderbar!
4 successes. You
Also,
can
props on the baling wire line. That was a good one.
Oh, I'm glad you.
with
That
4
was subtle.
successes. You do have a rudimentary microscope. This microscope does not have features. You cannot, for example, spin a little scrolly wheel and get more or less magnification.
Mhm.
Or get Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
It's not backlit.
Yeah.
It's-
Lame.
It's really just a magnifying glass.
Actually, speaking about it, I don't know if you know this, but there is a time mechanic that you can use to get additional die.
Yeah, so that's the other thing that you can use to get additional dice.
Mhm.
If you say, and it works in multiples. So you take a multiplier of time, say
Mhm.
twice as long,
Yeah.
get like 2 dice.
So, for
Um,
example, I'm reading it right now. It's 10 times slower than you normally would. You get an additional 8 die. 5 times
Whoa,
slower
whoa,
is
whoa.
4. 2
Are
times
you telling
slower
me-
is 2 die. Normal speed, you get 0. If you want to go faster, you get -4 die, and 3 times as fast as -8 die.
That is awesome. The next
Are
time
you-
I try crafting something, I'm absolutely
Yeah,
taking the
I
whole
mean-
dang day.
Wait,
yeah, I
so
literally just
theoretically,
read that now, so yeah.
I
there you
could
go.
have taken like 8 hours to piss and gotten a +8 on my body roll.
Yes,
No.
that's what we're telling you,
Oh
Frank.
my god,
Aw.
Frank.
That's not quite how it works, but
Don't you dare shit on my dreams or piss, case maybe.
live the dream.
But in
Right,
terms
yeah.
of building a microscope, I feel like if you just took your time with it, it would be like you wouldn't have to use a style point in order to like do what you just did, sort of thing. So,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah,
yeah,
that's a very good point. I'll keep that in mind for the future.
yeah.
For reference, this didn't take 10 minutes. It will have taken him most of the day to do.
Well, in that case, you should have gave him an additional 8 die. Like,
Well, no, because it's you get the dime when you take more time than it takes on the basic level. On the basic level, this took most of the day, so it gets no extra dice. If he wanted to get extra dice, it would have to take most of 2 days, say, for double the time, or most of 4 days for 4 times the time, or most of 10 days to get 10 times
so
the time.
the style points. I'm looking at it now. So you can do a couple of things with it. The first one is you can boost the talent. Which
If you have a talent that is incremental,
Yeah.
and only certain talents are incremental,
Which
you
ones-
can use it to.
what do you mean by incremental?
There
They
are
have levels.
talents you take more than once, and therefore they get better and better and better. There are other talents that you only take once and are only as good as they'll ever be. Your remember everything, your eidetic memory, is not an incremental talent.
So if you have one that gives you additional intelligence, if you boost it with 2, you get an additional intelligence for that. For the,
Basically, like any incremental talent has like probably 3 levels that are described on the talent.
yeah. So
Move to level 2 or level 3 with style points till the end of a scene.
yeah.
A non-permanent increase.
That's interesting. And the other one is you may receive 1 bonus die for every style point spent. So it is only 1.
Oh, okay.
And the damage reduction one is your character takes 1 less point of damage for every 2 style points spent.
Yeah, so if you're taking damage and you don't want to die, you can blow style points as a soaking mechanic.
Yeah.
Henley, the rules lawyer.
Well, I'm just looking through the thing now, and it's like there's like that time one was actually pretty cool. I just found that. So
Yeah, that's fine. That has always been the case. It hasn't really come up. We haven't had a crafter,
yeah. So it's never really needed one, but yeah.
Although that can come into play in investigation for you, Dave. If you feel you're in a situation where time isn't important, like you're not going to get caught, say, in the amount of time.
So, for example, like if I took it's like when I was doing the lockpicking, that probably wouldn't have been applicable, but it might have been. I don't know.
Well, you could have. So you
Yeah.
could have said, I want to take twice as long to be more careful. But then, of course, you take twice as long and someone could catch you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's basically. So if you ever find yourself in a situation where, like, in no amount of time is anyone going to catch you, like you're not clandestinely investigating, you could take more time if you wanted.
Yeah.
Or you could also take more time when someone could catch you and just take the risk that someone catches you.
Can you elaborate on what chance die are? Because I'm reading that now, and that seems pretty interesting.
That is an entire mechanic that is it just gets. I read it and I wasn't really interested in incorporating it.
Okay, so we're ignoring that one?
Yeah, but I mean, you can read it, and if you think
So basically, it's like...
you can make an appeal for having that mechanic in the game, I just thought it, it really didn't.
It seems kind
I
of silly,
thought-
like you get 1 die... Oh, wait. You get 2 die. You can get 2 bonus die that you can use for whatever skill, but it increases the DC by 1 for every 2 die that you take.
Yeah,
That's
so
just
it's
too weird.
It's
well-
super weird. Like,
It's
like-
basically like it's just the idea is if you think you're going to be lucky, right? So it's basically
yeah. They describe it
Yeah.
as desperate times call for desperate measures. Like you use it like when you're like you need to pass a roll, but you don't have the
you couldn't possibly pass it otherwise.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's weird, right? So the average of 2 dice is 1. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna get 1 success, and that means nothing's changed because you've increased your DC by 1 and you've gotten 1.
Yeah.
On the other hand, you can also fail or succeed. So it's really just a let's make luck more important in this role than normal.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the game.
It doesn't
sorry.
really, it doesn't really add anything in my opinion. So, Maction, you have a functional microscope. It magnifies better than the magnifying glass, but does not include any sort of modern features, as you would expect.
Fantastic. Well, that'll take most of Otto's day, but he'll certainly be revisiting the microscope.
Okay.
At a later
Staring
time.
at it longingly through a window.
Well, I mean, you got to improve your gear if you want to make scientific discoveries.
Is
That
this
is
the
true.
same sort of, like, did you literally just make, like, a spyglass? Can it be repurposed for other things?
Please, if you could try not to downplay the awesomeness
No, what
that
I'm,
is
s-
Otto.
what I'm saying is, can this microscope be used as a spyglass?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Spyglasses are really cool,
Yeah.
as are microscopes. But
Thank you, Frank.
I'm no expert, but I think you you get the focus differently for seeing far away and seeing up close and small.
Okay.
yeah, you just move the lens a little bit. You
Yeah.
can do it with two magnifying glasses and you can do that shit freehand.
Well,
Yeah, the issue is going to be just getting the other lens at the focal point. See, I read optics, kind of,
Uh-huh.
not really.
So, anyway,
So cutting everybody off.
yeah.
yeah, because wandering.
Oh no, I'm not holding that against you. Go for it.
Fuck off, Frank. I'm just kidding.
Oh,
Dave, as Rex Holt.
there we are.
You have left the cabin of the man who never gave you his name and you never asked because
Rex
you
doesn't
know,
give a shit.
you just don't care about people.
No.
Where are you heading from here?
Well, I'm still hungry for information about the region, so I think the next step is to go to this village that he mentioned.
So you're going to head north out of the forest.
Yeah. Well,
That is
Hang on a sec, guys. I think my audio's screwing up here. I can't really hear you too much anymore.
oh.
We got you fine.
No. It's going into the mixing board problem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, continue. Sorry.
Doodaloo, 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 doo, doo. You head north out of the forest in the center of the valley.
Yeah.
This is going to take several hours, probably, maybe.
That's fine.
So we're actually going to revisit Frank briefly, just to keep everything in the same time
frame? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
How's
So,
it going? How's it going,
squishing.
Arch?
I'm squishing through my underwear. I figured out a way to twiddle my thumbs and to play rock paper scissors with myself.
Do you
You're
Or
lose?
developing-
Rochambeau, as they call it in France.
You're developing a rash in your nether regions.
No, that takes that takes more than 24 hours.
Time
to
is
crash.
accelerated here, good sir.
It's chafing is all that it is. It's not like a fungus rash. It's a chafing rash.
We'll call it, salt rash, like surfers get.
But you know
But
what?
yeah,
The best
pits.
part about this, Frank, is that you don't need to pee right now.
That is quite true. I take another sip of the stein to celebrate. I'm probably gonna munch down a sandwich.
Yeah.
Has anybody come by and gone through that door at all?
At least 2 groups of monks have come down and acquired booze, alcohol.
I'm assuming they wrinkled their noses as they left, but other than that, I can't think of anything else that would happen.
You're
So-
fairly certain that nothing untoward, like they didn't find you or suspect you, as far as you can tell. They're certainly playing it cool if they did.
Then I shall return to making my soul the most Brahmin perfect pearl of beauty that I can. I will meditate on the reasons why man must urinate himself occasionally.
Okay,
And,
you're gonna meditate.
no, I'm not going to meditate. I'm making a joke. Of course, I'm going to sit here and stare at the wall and cry because I'm so bored. That's what I'm going to fucking do. I might
Okay.
call it meditation, though.
Okay. Then we're gonna segue back to Dave.
Mm-hmm.
as Rex Holt. Rex,
Yes.
you, after a couple hours of walking,
Mm-hmm.
come to the edge of the forest
Okay.
on the northern quote unquote half. You see in front of you a vaguely arcing downward green valley that arcs off to the right, in the shadow of these great blue snow-capped peaks that jaggedly surround the valley. In front of you, you can see what is essentially a plain. Tall grass. You can see the wind in the grass as it goes along. There are herds of animals in the distance, some sort of herding animal, and at least, and you see two rivers come in from two different points. One in front of you, and the other to your left, where they merge to the northwest slightly. You can see some structures. That is most likely the secondary village.
All right. Yeah, let's make our way there.
All right. It actually looks like it's going to take at least over an hour just to do the walk.
That's fine. At this point, I am well and truly fed up with walking, but the hunger for knowledge of this region is just driving me because literally nothing from the monks, like getting absolutely nothing. Otto, bless his heart, hasn't been very helpful in helping me find the specifics that I want. And you know
maybe
what?
if you told him what the specifics were, and he knew anything about them.
Well, that's the thing.
You
Rex
would help.
Rex already
Yeah.
inquired, and you're like, and then he's like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go find the information myself." And you know what? He's been
Rex
pretty
is a
lucky so
linear
far. So
thinker.
he's excited to like investigate this camp, but at the same time, he's just like getting really agitated at everything, considering how far he's walked today. So, by the way, Wreckage, like you said that this place has like healing properties and all that sort of stuff.
Uh-huh.
How much of this is affecting my leg?
I mean, you've been doing a lot of walking, and it doesn't hurt as much as it did on the way here,
Yeah.
say, for example.
Yeah.
You're taking less breaks than you asked of people along the way.
Yeah.
But it's not
Generally,
going to
just feel refreshed and invigorated.
But I still feel the leg, or is it? Like,
I mean, it just doesn't hurt as much. I mean, it still hurts. It hurts. It's a gimp
Yeah,
leg. It hurts.
all right.
Yeah, the
But-
leg's a part of you, Dave. You can't really remove a part of you.
Well, be that as it may, it is certainly affected. It does not hurt as much.
All right. Okay. Well, maybe it's more psychological than anything then at this point.
Who knows?
Yeah. Anyway.
You eventually draw nearer to the village. Everybody else is doing stuff that takes all day, so we can just skip to the part where you actually get to the village.
Is it the same sort of housing that our friend in the swamp had or the jungle had?
This is more in line with the sort of the village on the cliff, which is more of a sort of Mexican mud hut type thing. You know, done well. You know, in like Texas where they have I don't know what they're called, but they're masonry. Yeah, sort of like that.
Okay.
They're one piece. You don't see the bricks or anything, but they're made out of masonry, and they have a flesh exterior. They're one color. They've got pieces of wood coming out of the sides of the top of the house.
Okay.
That sort of thing.
So they've had a lot more time and a lot more help putting these things together rather than the ramshambles that is that other house we saw.
Yeah. These
Okay.
are also multi-room houses. You can just tell they have, which is is fair to point out, not the case in the village at the monastery, where they were single room huts. I mean, they were spacious and large. You know, you could have your table and your kitchen and your bedroom all in one thing and not be cramped.
Yeah.
But they were single rooms. These are quite large houses in comparison to them. Almost certainly multiple rooms.
Yeah. All right. So when I walk into this village, is there like a road going up to it? Like, how established is this place?
You can see that there are some walking paths that just sort of are cut through the long grass, but they aren't paved or marked in any way. They are about as wide as a person, so you can deduce quite easily with your latent survival and investigation skills that they are simply paths that exist because people walk those paths.
Sure. And in terms of like what I'm seeing here, like is the layout of this village, have they made it so that there is potential for a roadway or some sort of vehicle like width?
No.
Okay, so it's literally like the roads are as big as like maybe two people wide through the entire thing?
Maybe.
Okay,
Yeah.
so they haven't had a lot of planning put into like the actual layout of the village then. Okay.
Well, there is a very clear boundary between the sort of tall grass plains and the village, which does not start at the edge of the houses.
Yeah.
There's obviously a whole cleared space here where the river meets that gives them quite a lot of leeway with the tall grass.
Okay.
But once you reach the tall grass, you see these, pleasure paths, these the little walking trails that have naturally cropped up, spidering away from the village. One leading into the sort of the hills into the northwest. It gets sort of hilly as it approaches the mountain, and that one disappears off into there. And another one going out into the plains towards the herd of animals that seems to wander around in the northeast.
Okay. So in terms of the housing and stuff like that, are they all very similar in size? Like they're just basically they stuck to one design for everyone?
They're all different from each other. The construction is the same. The basics are the same. But in the same way that Legos are all made out of Legos.
Okay.
They use the same construction technique and style, but the resultant shape seems to be different in each case.
Okay, so it doesn't look like that they made a lot of buildings at the beginning. All right, that's interesting. So I'm going to walk up to the first person I see.
Okay, let's see. What time would it be?
Who happens to be a dog.
You see a dog person. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. I'm going to do a secret GM roll, guys. You prepare your buttholes.
Oh man, look, those things have been prepared for a
Clenching
long
now.
time.
Also gross, Dave.
You said it.
Okay. It is well past lunchtime for you now, Dave. It is into the early evening. If the sun set, it would be just setting. Or starting its descent. It would only just starting to be kind of a little tint of orange in the sky. It isn't, because it never does. How sad. The first person you will see is a woman on the shores of the river. She appears to be doing something.
Oh yeah.
All right, so first thing I do is I catch my breath and I try and make myself presentable. I assume walking through the jungle I'll be sweaty and whatnot. And
Spit in your hand, slick your hair back.
yeah, that sort of thing, like run my hand through my hair and that sort of stuff, and then like maybe take a sip of water and swirl it around my mouth and spit it out, sort of thing. And then I walk up to the woman and I'm like, excuse me, miss.
Oh, hello there.
Hello.
Hello.
This is...
My name is Holt. Is It's nice to meet you, by the way. I'm new to this valley,
Rex
and
Holt.
these are my friends here. Don't mind them. They're kind of shy, and I wave them off again. You know, the same way I did before. With
They
the
don't
other
go
guy.
anywhere.
No, no, no.
Just
I
like
don't.
last time, they
I just dismiss them
yeah,
with my hand. That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
I don't. I
And
don't
each
wave them.
time they just look at you with daggers in their eyes.
That's fine. I don't really care about them. And I was like, I'm wandering around the valley, just trying to get a layout of the land. Do you happen to know someone who might know a bit about the region that I could talk to?
Oh,
How old is this
well,
woman, by the way?
middle-aged.
Okay, cool. Yep, fair enough.
Well, nice to meet you, Holt.
That is what I said my name was, yes.
My name is Mary Ann. It's nice to meet you.
Hmm.
Well, I guess several people around here might know a few things about the valley. There's not much to know. You can see that she is cleaning clothes in the river.
Yeah. If you don't mind me asking, how did you come to live here?
Oh, me?
Mhm,
Well,
yes.
I was born here. I
In-
understand that that's not
Interesting.
typical.
Yeah, that is very interesting. How old are your parents, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, I'm about. Well, you know, we don't really keep track of that sort of thing around here. Doesn't really seem all that important.
Are they still alive by chance?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. They live back at the monastery, though. The monastery village.
I like sort of cringe at that a little bit. I'm like, okay. Can you tell me their names by chance? Because I would love to talk to them to see what their experiences was like coming here.
Well, my father is named Zhao, and my mother is named Bethany.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, so okay, that's very interesting actually. Tell me, who is the sort of I'm struggling for the word here in character, like I'm literally scratching my chin. I'm like, leader of this village?
Oh, we don't have one.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But who would you say is the most senior? Or maybe the one who sort of organizes people the most?
Well, I suppose that's what you're. It depends on what you're talking about.
I'm after information. Someone who might, who can I talk to, basically? Who do you think would be the best person to talk to?
Well, you know, again, it varies. Jacob tends the herds, so he may know a thing or two about the animals. Um, then there's Franklin. He helps us build any new houses or structures that we need. A carpenter, I believe, is what he calls himself.
Yes.
And then there's Scotty. He does all of the
Engineering.
well, he grabs all of the he gathers all of the herbs and berries from the hills.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
Help round out there, so he may know a thing or two about up there. And well, the those are pretty much the ones who know the most about the area or knowledgeable.
Yes. How far would you say the grazing goes for the herds?
Oh, they have free reign of the entire upper half of the valley.
Interesting. Do you get a lot of new people coming here?
Oh no, only people who come around here are people who aren't particularly happy at the monastery village. Most people are. I
can
honestly
see
just
why.
wanted to get away from the family, you know.
Yes, I understand living with actually, I don't care. So, tell me about Scotty. He seems pretty interesting.
Oh, well, he disappears into the hills for a couple days at a time and comes back down with baskets full of berries and herbs.
I like clap my hands to stop her. I'm like, perfect. Can you tell me where he is?
He's currently up in the hills. He may be back tonight if you would like to stick around for dinner.
Yes, I am quite famished, and I would love to see what type of food you guys are actually consuming up here in the middle of nowhere. In the meantime, what about your herding boy? What was his name? Frankie? Of course, I would remember
no.
that, obviously.
No, well, you would remember that.
Yeah, I would say the right name.
Franklin was the carpenter, and crap, what did I say his name?
No.
It was Jacob, but I don't know if it was.
No, it's
yeah.
Jacob. Yep. I would
Yeah.
love to talk to Jacob in the meantime. Can you tell me where he is?
Jacob would be out with the herd, which is a ways away. Again, it might be best just to wait until dinner. It's not long off now.
Okay. Anyone else in town that you feel like would have information that I could talk to?
Well, I can see you're quite anxious. Everybody will be around at dinner. They'll be quite happy to have something new to talk about. Visitors, you understand. So
Absolutely, I say that, and I got like a shit-eating grin on my face. I'm like, fantastic. Do you perchance have a place that me and my associates can freshen up in?
Well, so as far as freshening up, we really only have the river.
I meant that in, like, you might not be aware, but we have this thing called non-literal terms outside of this place. And I literally just meant rest.
Well, yes. That structure over there, she motions.
Mm-hmm.
It is obvious which structure she is talking about.
Mm.
That's where we take our meals and where we have a few spare rooms.
Excellent, thank you very much. I start walking towards the thing.
Okay. And this, we're only just coming up on. We're probably 10 minutes out from break.
By my watch, we're about maybe 20.
We could take an early break if we have to.
Yeah, we
It's
can
not
take an early
gonna
break,
kill
yeah.
everything.
Yeah, let's take an early break just because this is a good stopping place.
Okay, we can do that.
Narratively.
Mhm.
So we'll take an early break, 10 minutes, and we'll get right back.
All right.
Awesome.
Oh, wow. All right, guys, we'll be back in 3 to 5, maybe 10. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I don't think it'll be a 10-minute break.
Yeah. So we'll be
All
back.
right.
More of this to come. Hour number 3 of Hex, followed by Blood Jews later on this evening in the same session. So don't go anywhere, guys. Plenty more of this to come up.